Because I just wanna be me, just wanna be me, I just wanna be me.
Hey everyone, it's Katie. Welcome back to Riot Girl Reads. Thank you for being here. I hope you're feeling good today, and if you're not, that's okay. You're probably new here because this is a brand new channel. So if you watched my first video and now you're here, thanks for tuning in for the next one. If this is your first video, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you watch it to the end and, like, comment, subscribe. Today I wanted to kind of just do a cash vlog, just kind of sitting in my house. I'm sitting in my living room right now, and I just wanted to do the newbie tag because I guess that's what we do here, as is tradition. You'll probably see my cats running back and forth. So first question, why did I start this channel? I love books and I love reading and I love writing, like most booktubers, I'm sure. And honestly, it's being combined in something that involves all three of those things, and being able to do that for a living would be the dream. So this is sort of one of the steps toward that goal. What are some fun and unique things that you can bring to YouTube? I once had an art teacher tell me that there's really no point in trying to be unique because everything's already been done before. I don't know if that's good or bad advice, but it is sort of good advice when you're in the paralysis of trying to create and you're stuck on being original or unique or whatever. I guess the best I can say is only I have my perspective on things. So I'm the only one that can bring the Katie Riot Girl perspective to books and movies and music and anything I want to talk about on this channel. What are you most excited for about this new channel? Making new friends and making lots of money. Next question. Why do I love reading? The escapism. Again, that seems obvious, but I don't know. Reading was a place that I could go to deal with my depression. I have depression and for a long time I was not in therapy or on medication. I just read a lot. Yeah, that's kind of how I fell in love with reading, because I didn't know how to deal with my depression other than sort of trying to live vicariously through characters and books. That's a lot to unpack. What book or series got you into reading? Honestly, it was Twilight. I will die on the hill that I love Twilight and it's a good book. That is the hill I will die on. Short explanation. I started reading the book with my friend group at the time when I was about 20 years old. And going back to what I was saying before about having depression and kind of reading to deal with that, I had just moved back home to my parents' house after finishing community college, and I was just at an incredibly low feeling point in my life. I didn't know what my next move was going to be, and I just happened to start reading Twilight, and I kind of like fixated on the entire series. And also, I kind of realized at this age, around this time, that it really doesn't fucking matter what you read. I used to think that, and maybe others have had this thoughts too, let me know in the comments, that you had to like only read literary fiction or only read classic novels or something like that to be like a bookworm or a reader. That is not true. If you haven't figured that out yet, that is not true. You read whatever the fuck you want. So yeah, I figured that out around this time. And then after reading Twilight, I just sort of started consuming any YA fantasy or paranormal romantic series that I could get my hands on. And number one, this was in like 2007, 2008-ish. So there wasn't nearly as much as there is today. Like the publishing of YA, of quality YA series has kind of boomed in the past 10 years. And two, there weren't any bookstores in my town. My town was so small. The only place to get books from, unless you ordered online, was Walmart. Other than that, I had to drive like a half an hour to get to like a Barnes and Noble or a Walden Books that was in a mall. So fun. Questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? I don't know. Do you guys want to be friends? What challenges do you think starting a BookTube channel will be the hardest to overcome? I think consistency and finding subscribers. Obviously, consistency is a big thing when you are a content creator online. I'm sure we all know this. So yeah, I am still working out and finding my schedule, and I'm gonna try really, really hard. And also finding subscribers, because God, it is so hard to get people to give a fuck about what you're saying on the internet. Shameless ask for you to subscribe again if you haven't. My cat Scully. This is Scully. She's my oldest. Hi. You're so sweet. Okay, she's done. When did I start reading? I was really young. My parents, my family always had books around the house. They read to me a lot, and I also read a lot in middle school because of reading programs. We had something called AR. I think it was like Accelerated Reader. That's what it stood for. I don't know if you guys had that too. But I loved reading and taking quizzes and getting points. That was the best. I was addicted to it. And when I was in middle school, there's three things that I remember loving to read. One, I read the book Little Women and loved it. Because I also loved the Winona Ryder version when I was a kid. And then I also read the novelization of I Know What You Did Last Summer, the slasher movie. And I also read these books by this author called Marlene McDaniel. And I read a lot of books by her, and they were always about like teenagers who had an illness. It was usually cancer. And they were usually sort of like sad teen romance novels, which honestly, I've been thinking about trying to like find those and like order them from somewhere and reread them again as an adult, because I just think it'd be really funny. There was one in particular that it was a trilogy. It was like Angels Watching Over Me or something, and it's like where this girl who has cancer goes to the hospital for treatment, and while she's there, she befriends another little girl who also has cancer while she's getting treatment, and she meets the girl's older brother, who is hot, and guess what? Amish. So there's sort of a Romeo and Juliet-ish thing going on. He is Amish, and they sort of strike up a little romance, and it goes for 3 books, and I was obsessed. Where do you read? I usually read on my couch or in my bed, with like a pillow on my lap, a nice cup of tea. I used to read on the bus or the train when I commuted to work still, but I don't do that anymore because I work from home. What kind of books do you like to read? I mostly love to read romance, and I've really gotten into horror and mystery in the last like year because I love true crime, so that's sort of extended to that. I also love horror. I used to read a lot of YA, but I don't read as much now. I find myself not enjoying it as much. I think it's maybe because I'm getting out of the teen sort of, how do I explain it? I'm sort of getting out of like, I'm not a teenager anymore. I'm in my mid-30s. But there's lots of adults who read YA, and that's cool. Again, read whatever the fuck you want. So yeah, I like to read mostly romance and horror books. I read a little bit of everything. I like reading, true crime nonfiction. But I think if there was like a pie graph of what I read, a large chunk of the pie would be romance. Well, thanks for tuning in to my second video, my newbie tag. Comment below, let me know, what do you like to read? What are your favorite books that you read so far this year? What's the book you're reading now? Let's chat in the comments, and please subscribe, tell your friends, and I will see you guys next time, probably for my September wrap up. So see ya, bye.